Alright guys, so I did a poll on YouTube, and you guys said that you wanted to see more cheap versus expensive. So, I have Harbor Freight versus Milwaukee, and we're going to be testing different yard implements. So, first let's do kind of a price breakdown. So, Harbor Freight for a weed eater, hedge trimmer, pole saw, 5 amp hour battery, and quick charger, you're looking at $479 for everything all in. For Milwaukee, the pricing of this is a little bit weird because I bought all of this as a kit, but the kit was like an exclusive thing, and it was like a 4th of July type thing. So I don't know if it's like, time sensitive, or if this is something that's available all year long, or exactly how all that works. So what I paid for the kit that I bought was $589. So basically just $100 more than the Harbor Freight. And that is weed eater, pole saw, hedge trimmer, but also an edger and an 8 amp hour battery and quick charger. So all that for only $100 more. That kit or whatever is like unavailable. And if you were to buy all of these things the way that I think like your average person would, I feel like the average person would buy this as, you can buy the weed eater as a kit, so you get the weed eater, battery, charger, and that's like, actually I don't have that price written down. I think that's like $300-ish maybe for that kit, and then you can buy all these separate things, or all these other things separate. So for the weed eater kit, and then to buy the pole saw separate, and then the hedge trimmer separate, you're looking at $867. Basically double Harbor Freight. Pick whatever price you want to go with. If the kit's available, then it's only $100 more. If the kit's not available, then it's almost double. Although we are not going to be testing out the edger because Harbor Freight does not have an edger, so I just had to mention that because that was part of the kit that I bought. Okay, so now let's take a look at what we got. So there's one main difference between both of these, and that is with the Milwaukee, you have what they call their quick lock system. Twist this and pull this out, and you have one motor that's driven by, I guess, some type of drive wire or something. And this is your motor. You get one motor, and then you get a bunch of different attachments that can attach onto this one motor. With the Harbor Freight, every single one of these has their own thing. I have them disconnected because they're just so long. But every single one of these, the pole saw has its own handle and whatnot, and then the hedge trimmer has its own handle and everything. So every tool is its own separate thing. So you can kind of view that as like a positive or a negative. So with the Milwaukee, where you have one motor and then just a bunch of different implements, you have all your motor is in the back, okay? So all your weight is in the back, kind of like a normal, like a gas weed eater or a gas pole saw would be. Everything is, all the weight's back here. With this Harbor Freight, all of these like back pieces are just like connectors for the battery, just to send the electricity to the front. And on all of the implements, the motor and everything is up here. So like, say for instance, on the pole saw, with the Milwaukee pole saw, we'll do this one since the pole saw is going to be the first thing we test. If I hold this, the pole saw, all the weight is on the back. So it's almost just kind of natural. There's almost no weight on the saw. You can kind of hold it up and it's just easy. It feels very, very natural. With the Harbor Freight, if we attach this, this is very different. Like the balance point of this is like all the way up here. And that's without the battery pack. Let me put the battery pack on. So with the battery pack, the balance point is about the middle. But the weight is probably, I don't know that it's double, but it feels like double because you have so much weight at this end and then so much weight at this end to counteract it. This thing just feels like an absolute behemoth that you're trying to like get up into a tree to cut something with. And it's the exact same story with the weed eater. All the motor and all the weight is up front, so whenever you're holding it, it feels like it's like top heavy, like it's gonna like topple over or something. That's the two major differences that I noticed so far. I'm curious to see what the performance is gonna be. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna test both pole saws. We're gonna cut some 4x4. We're gonna cut some 2x4s first, and then probably some 4x4s, and just see if there's a difference, see how they perform. All right, guys. So before we go any farther, this video is sponsored by the Till Valhalla project. Now, I know a lot of you guys usually skip through the sponsored parts of the videos. Don't skip through this one. This one's actually important. So, the Till Valhalla project, what they do is they sell clothing and just items. They have like bracelets, different things. They sell stuff with inspirational messages on them. Like, this says mental health awareness. There's a, like just an American flag shirt. They have one that says 22 a day because 22 veterans a day take their lives. So what they do is they sell all these items, and then they take that money, and then they do things like this. They find fallen heroes, and they make memorial plaques for them, and then deliver them to the families of the heroes. So whether it's military, law enforcement, first responders, it doesn't matter. They make these plaques, and then they deliver them to the families. And whenever I say deliver them, I don't mean that they just like make them and then ship them off and mail them to somebody. They make these things, and then they hand deliver them to the families. So that's pretty cool. It's not just, it's an actual like personal delivery. So it's really cool. They also make these little bands that go along with the plaque for the family. It's a nice little touch. And the company's only been around for 4 years, but they've already delivered over 2,000 of these plaques, totaling over $700,000. And then on top of that, they've donated over $1 million to help end veteran suicide. So that's pretty amazing, and they're doing a lot of good with the money that they're making from this merchandise. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they become one of the biggest mission-oriented brands in the entire country, because they're doing so much good with the money that they're making. So, if you want to support them, there is a link in the description. It's the tillvalhallaproject.com/TylerTube, and you can get 15% off of your order. And don't forget, you're not just buying a shirt, you are supporting a great cause. I just got both pole saws, put bar oil in them, you know, gave them a couple test spins, and we're gonna do like kind of like a test cut. This is a 1 inch by 1 inch square piece of wood. All right, let's go. Let's see how fast we can cut through this. That was way faster than I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that for that to be that fast. All right, Harbor Freight. Something I've noticed, like when I was putting the oil in the Harbor Freight has like a pretty like big delay. Like it's not like a huge deal, but it's something to note. Because like you can squeeze the trigger up all the way, and it just, if you do it fast, it won't even spin. Whereas you can't do that with the Milwaukee. The reaction time is just too fast. So with the Milwaukee, it reacts the second you squeeze it. There's no delay. So not a huge deal, but I think that's a little bit annoying. But none of that matters. Let's see how it performs. Very top heavy. Wow, alright. I don't know what happened there. Did it really just stall out? Oh, the chain's coming off. Oh, that doesn't look good. Alright, now let's try again. Now, this one will count for the timer. What's wrong now? Does it just not have the power? Alright, so I played with the chain tension a little bit. I got it pretty much identical to the to what the Milwaukee is. So, let's see where we are now. Really? I think it just literally doesn't have the power. Because I bet if I go slow, I bet it'll do no problem. Yeah. So it literally just doesn't have the power. time it did. Okay, so what? It just gets clogged easy, or just like what's going on here? Let's try that with Milwaukee. Let's try to slam it down and see if it'll get. Don't let me down, Milwaukee. I must say I do like how the Milwaukee's laid out much better. How it's like just a straight shot instead of being at like a weird angle. I like that. I don't think there's any stopping that. I was even pushing down on that one and it didn't stop it. So clearly Milwaukee has more power. All right, 4x4. Probably, you know, these are 10-inch bars, so probably not the biggest you could go on a tree limb, but pretty good size. So start off with the Milwaukee. See how fast we can do it. That was pretty fast. We'll do another one. That was not only was that fast, that was smooth too. No hang-ups, nothing. I don't think the Harbor Freight's gonna be able to compete with that. I bet the Harbor Freight probably gets all stopped up and whines and cries the whole time. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, it did it, but it's so, like, it's not the chain tension, but, like, maybe it's the chain quality or something, but it's so, like, just jerky and, like, wants to pull all over the place. Whereas the Milwaukee's just, like, it's almost like a lightsaber. It's just, like, shoop, and it cuts right through. Let's go again. See if we can get a really good time. Man. Alright, I guess I just gotta let it chew through. I wasn't even putting any pressure on it. I was just holding it. Can it make it one cut all the way through? Okay, there we go. Literally, not even putting anything down. I feel like it's the wood chips. I feel like there's something about the wood chips that's maybe clogging it up. Or maybe the motor just doesn't have that much power. Because, I mean, this whole thing, minus the battery, was only like, I think the pole saw was $90. Whereas the pole saw, just the pole saw attachment for the Milwaukee is like $150, I think. So there's a big price difference there. I really expected more out of this thing. I thought it was going to be really good, but I'm kind of getting the vibe that it's going to be kind of like your normal Harbor Freight stuff, where it's like good enough to get the job done, but not, you know, just not a super great experience. Let's go see if we can find some branches to cut on a real tree and see how it works in a real life scenario. The lighting sucks. The sun's coming up. It's like 7 a.m. The birds are loud. Everything's kind of a mess. I have like this little branch. Oh, I just stepped in some water. Oh, now my socks. I have this little branch. I have a couple other little like dead branches. We'll take those out first, kind of see how it reacts on like a real life branch. Whatever kind of tree this is, I have no idea about trees, but this wood is really soft, so it should do good. I mean, you could pretty much chew through this wood if you wanted to. Let's just first go right here, as you would expect. Okay, that's really no problem. Oh, let's go for something a little like this right here. I mean, this is pretty much as you would expect on like a real life situation on a real tree. It just blows right through. But like I said, I think there's a bug on my hat. Everything is just going wrong today. But anyway, like I said, the wood on this tree is like really soft. So let's go ahead, same thing with the Milwaukee. I imagine it's going to be absolutely no problem whatsoever. I cannot even tell you how much more comfortable this is to use, because all the weight's back here. I can just sit right here and it feels like there's just almost nothing on the end of this pole. How about you? Don't do that, huh? The Harbor Freight did it pretty easy, but this is literally, like I said before, like with the 4x4, it's almost like a lightsaber. It just right through the wood. So next we're gonna do the weed eaters. Luckily, I have a nice fence line here that I have plenty to weed eat. So the weed eater, I can also show you that delay I was talking about with the pole saw. Look at this. I mean, that's like, I mean, that's pretty bad, especially when the Milwaukee is instant. I mean, it takes a little bit to spin up, but you know, whatever. But it don't matter. Let's run it, see how it does. Wow, okay. I'm actually really impressed with that. Okay, I'm actually very impressed with that, to be honest. Where the motor is up here at the head, that extra weight, it's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Because I guess, where the battery is so big, it really kind of adds some weight to the back. Even though it is still very, very top heavy, but it's not that bad. And I tell you one thing I do like. This weed eater spins the correct way. It spins clockwise. And the Milwaukee spins the other way. And I do not like that. And I don't know why so many weed eaters do that. Because if it spins clockwise, then I can just go like this and hold it this way and like walk down like the edge of a driveway or something, and it throws all the grass outwards. Whereas like the Milwaukee, if I try to do that, it's gonna throw all the grass to me. Or here, I can be walking this way against like the fence line, and it's gonna just keep throwing all the grass out. Whereas with the Milwaukee, whenever I go to weed eat, it's gonna throw all the grass to me. So I like the direction that it spins. But as far as power, I mean, plenty of power. I have absolutely no complaints. All right, these birds are getting on my nerves. So let's go for the Milwaukee, see if I can tell a very big difference. Right off the bat, I like the Harbor Freight more. Equal power. I would say the Milwaukee probably has just a little bit more. I mean, all intensive purposes, unless you're weed eating like really thick, like tall stuff, you're really not gonna notice a difference. I could just kind of tell the Milwaukee had a little power through here, like especially like through some of the thick stuff. But it spins the wrong way and it throws so much more grass on me. And for that one reason alone, I like the Harbor Freight better, just purely because of the way it spins. But as far as power, this has more power. This feels better in your hands because of the way that it's balanced. It feels much more like an actual weed eater because of all the weight being up here at the back end. And whenever you're holding it, it's just naturally, like actually right there is almost where it's balanced. So it just feels, really good right in your hands. Man, for me, I'll take the little heavier and the not as balanced for it to spin in the correct direction. I don't know, something about it, I don't like that. All right, I have one last thing that is funny that I want to show you. So with this, you have this motor head. You can also buy extension poles. So like for the hedge trimmer and stuff. So you can stick this, and then you can take like your weed eater head, stick that in there. So now you can really just do some weed eating. And it actually works. I don't know where this would come in handy, but like maybe like on a hillside or something, you could kind of just like reach up and do it. But that's pretty cool. Welcome to my bird sanctuary. Anyway, so now we have the hedge trimmer. And what I have set up here is different sized dowel rods. They start off at twig size, which is 3/16, and they go all the way up to 3/4 inch. And we're gonna see what size this thing can cut through, because I mean, really that's all that matters for trimming hedges is the size of the stem. So I suspect it'll do this no problem. No problem. Oh, kind of struggled there. Oh, I messed up. I messed up. All right, so you gotta keep it going and get it in there. Snapped it right off. Jeez. That's solid like a piece of wood. I did not expect this at all. Wow, okay. Okay, so it seems like it's not gonna cut through that just sheerly because of the width. It just can't get in there to even cut it. That's crazy, okay. Completely did not expect that at all. This is 5/8. So you can cut things up to 5/8 in diameter. Okay, so let's see what the Milwaukee does. All right, the Milwaukee is way heavier. This attachment is the only attachment that the Milwaukee has where it feels very lopsided and just so top heavy. Let's see. Really? Oh, the Milwaukee will cut through that. That's crazy. It just saws it like it's a piece of wood. That's even more surprising to me. I think, to be fair, as far as like power is concerned, I think the Harbor Freight would have cut through this if the jaws had more clearance and it could actually like get around it. I should have got thicker dowel rods because I stopped at 3/4 because I figured like maybe somewhere around here would be like probably the max, and then like maybe possibly they could get this. I did not expect them to get all of these, or at least for the Milwaukee to get all of these. My mind is kind of blown. So just, I guess for fun, let's trim some hedges, just see how easy it is. All right, so this is gonna be some of the best content I've ever made. One thing, let me talk about. The Milwaukee hedge trimmer is way more flexible than the Harbor Freight one. The Harbor Freight one kind of can go maybe from here to like here, and that's like all the flexibility it has. This can go all the way from 90 degrees this way to all the way 90 degrees this way, and pretty much anywhere in between that you want to go. It has way more flexibility. So you can see where this tree is kind of like, you know, blocking this off right here. So let's kind of just cut this back. I mean, literally just like butter, like nothing. Oh, we got stuck. Come on. There we go. So, I mean, that's pretty good. Let's try out the Harbor Freight. So you can see the flexibility I was talking about. We only got from here. Oh, wow. That actually goes more than I thought. I thought it only went maybe to like here. That's actually not bad, especially for getting like up here. Okay, actually, I like that a lot. I mean, I like that. I mean, it's every bit as powerful and as smooth as the Milwaukee. I have no complaints about that. All right, so what are my final thoughts? After using all of them, let's say I had to pick one of each to use for the rest of my life. Weed eaters? Absolutely going with the Harbor Freight. I went off camera, I finished the rest of the weed eating and just kind of kept bouncing back and forth between the two to just get a better idea of which one I like the best. To me, the Harbor Freight is just superior. And it's literally only because it spins in the correct direction. There's just something about that to me just makes the experience so much better. The Milwaukee wins in every other category. It's got more power, it's balanced better, it feels better in the hand. Pretty much everything, the Milwaukee wins that, but it doesn't spin in the correct direction. Milwaukee was so close. If they would have just made that weed eater spin in the correct direction, it would have been perfect. Absolutely flawless. As for the pole saw, gotta go Milwaukee. I mean, it just has way more power, chews through the wood way faster. I feel like the pole saw is just underpowered. And I feel like also it is because it's not brushless. It is a brushed motor in here. And I feel like that's where and the Milwaukee's brushless. So that's where the kind of lack of power comes from. The hedge trimmer, literally, take it or leave it. I could take either one of those. They both feel great. They work great. They got great power. They cut through things fine. To me, they're pretty much dead even. If not, maybe not even dead even. Maybe the Harbor Freight could be just a little bit above the Milwaukee, just because the Milwaukee is so much heavier. And it's like just so top heavy to use, where the Harbor Freight one is a little bit more balanced. So really, I could take or leave either one of those, and they're pretty even to me. That's all I have for you today. I'm very curious to read your guys' comments below. I'm sure some of you guys have experience with all of these tools. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.